Several speakers already, and we've had another one coming. We also have Edwin Kagan, who's the Chief Legal Counsel to American Atheists, who will be coming on May 4th. It's a very interesting topic. We're talking about kind of the intersection between a lot of the work that's going on now with national groups and kind of advocating for free speech. We did it on Dr. Austin Dason came a couple weeks ago. We'll be doing it again. It was during spring break, so it wasn't as well as it was supposed to be like. He was talking about, again, the intersection between religion and placating religious groups and religious nations in particular on the international stage, and about how we really kind of are walking a fine line between disagreeing with blasphemy for blasphemy's sake, and really having real issues with free speech and hindering that. And UN member nations are beginning to kind of adopt us in their home countries. So there's kind of a debate going on there. It's very good. So we'll be coming again. But I just wanted to, before I bring on the speaker, I just want to say, my name is Jim Adams, and I'm the president of the Atheists, Agnostics, Freethinkers Alliance at SU. And this is kind of our inaugural season, so we do have an online website if you want to check it out and see what we're all about. It's groups.to/AAF, and at least do a Facebook page, and that's what we're going to do right now. Please, everyone join, keep up to date with what we're doing. And next semester, I'm really proud to announce we have Dr. Tawfiq Hamid, who self-describes as a former Islamic radicalist, and we'll be kind of talking about his journey from that to other things. But also Christopher Hitchens is confirmed for next semester. I should kind of follow the crowd. And he'll be speaking in October 14th. He's going to be doing God is Not Great, and talking about his book. So we're very excited about his visit here. So I just wanted to say a few words about Dr. Klein tonight. He is a very accomplished. He's been a licensed marriage and family therapist for almost 30 years. 30,000 sessions helping women and men and couples to explore their sexuality and feel sexually adequate and powerful. He's trained almost 100,000 physicians, psychologists, and attorneys in human sexuality across the U.S. and over a dozen countries. His fifth book, who I think we'll be talking about tonight, is available in the lobby. And that is American War on Sex, the attack on law, lust, and liberty. But I just wanted to, before he gets going, I wanted to kind of point out some of the information in the foreword. His friend, the ACLU president, Nadine Strawson, had a couple of really interesting things to say. I want to just kind of touch on those quickly. I don't want to step on his toes, but very quickly. She had a very interesting quote from John Stuart Mill. I just want to read it tonight because I think it's very appropriate. It's from Mill's 1859 on liberty. Over himself, over his own body and mind, the individual is sovereign. The only purpose for which government may rightfully exercise power over anyone is to prevent harm to others. His own good, either physical or moral, is not a sufficient harm. And I think that's quite a bit about what we're going to be talking about tonight. And that is pretty much the goal also of our Freethinkers lecture series. There's one other thing too, in a case I actually knew a bit about when I was a young kid, Planned Parenthood versus Casey. I think it's really important that the 3 Republican-nominated judges disagreed with Casey's interpretation of that particular fight. And O'Connor and Kennedy, appointed by President Reagan, and also David Souter, appointed by Bush, the first President Bush, had this to say about limiting a woman's right to carry a pregnancy to term. Our law affords constitutional protection to personal decisions relating to marriage, procreation, contraception, family relationships, child rearing, and education. Our presidents have respected the private realm of family life which the state cannot enter. These matters involving the most intimate and personal choices a person may make in a lifetime, choices central to personal dignity and autonomy, are also central to constitutionally protected liberty. At the heart of liberty is the right to define one's own concept of existence, of meaning, of the universe, and the mystery of human life. So I think we do have advocates out there if we really push forward and if we really keep on target. I think there are some things that we can do about this particular issue and about the wider issue of religion and the public sphere. So once again, I do want to pass on to Marty. So I walked here today, I came across two posters, and they were both advocating marriage for marriage's sake, and I think that would be a really interesting debate. But I do think, we're in this insulated area of academia, and it's a very world-class research institution, and there are still, you'd think that would filter into the community at large, and still we have these kind of groups who are not sure about sex education, health education, and these folks were kind of advocating various things, and they were very young folks, kind of wide-eyed, and the quote was, "We have nothing in common, but I know marriage is the right thing to do." So I thought that was a very interesting quote. And obviously, other reproductive choices have been kind of made for them by society, I think, where they fall into that. So I think what our group is about is kind of unpacking a little bit about the right thing to do and arguing. There's not always a black and white right thing to do. Let's have a little bit of debate about it. And that's what we're interested in doing on campus. And I think that's the, having that choice is probably the tenor of Dr. Klein's work, and having the right to choose and debating that is really the subject of his talk tonight. So I hope you all welcome me Dr. Marty Klein to the Syracuse University.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. I always say that whenever I speak. But I really mean it this time. Of course, I always say that when I speak. It really is a pleasure for two reasons. First of all, in the most religiously oriented country in the Western world, it's a great pleasure to be hosted by the Atheists.